Thank Honorable Charles Ngusia for this very, very timely and important motion. This motion, it's comprehensive. You have talked about being able to reward our athletes or our sportsmen and women when they do excel in behalf of the country and giving them some form of logistical support. But I want us to take your motion further. There are many challenges that athletes go through long before they become world champions. One of the key mandates of the Ministry of Sports is to nurture sport, to nurture sportsmen and women, not to celebrate them only when they have won. And that is where the problem lies. A lot of our athletes, you've talked about them being able to have psychosocial support. You've talked about them being able to have post-retirement medical cover. But the biggest crisis is the support that they need here and now. I have visited every athletics training camp in Uasin Gishu County, in Elgeyo Marakwet, and in Nandi County. And each of them, you hear the challenges that they go through. The athletes who are training to become world champions and don't even have shoes. They usually have one person run in the morning. Then when the person comes back from running, they give the other one the shoes so that the other person hits the road to go for training. That's how bad it is. They don't even have the right clothing. Sometimes they don't even have food. On many occasions, I've supplied food to some of those young people who are there. Then there is the crisis of gender-based violence happening in our camps. I had the occasion to host women athletes at Eka Hotel in Eldoret, which was sponsored and supported by Absa Bank. And when we listened to the stories by the young women, they said, first of all, can we have just trained for us women physiotherapists to be in our training camps? Because sometimes when they have the physiotherapy done by the men, they do get abused. Just the way I'm entitled to ask for a woman to search me at the airport, these athletes should have
look for their own therapists. That they have a coach, they have a manager, but in case of an injury, there is no proper medical scheme, there is no proper medical insurance scheme, there is no proper medical facility for them to be treated or even to get therapy. And even sometimes out of frustrations, Honorable Speaker, they end up stopping, or quitting the talent midway. That is why this motion needs to be relooked at, even beyond the normal motion that we are debating here. And I call upon the committee that is mandated with Matter Sports, and that is the committee that is led by the one you called the tall man, that we should find a way to convert now this to a bill. And it will be supported fully by this House, Honorable Speaker. Every member will support because it is timely. It is about time that we appreciate those people that fly our flags high. Honorable Speaker, I was actually reading this morning of sponsorships that are being done by our neighboring countries, Honorable Speaker, Rwanda, that they've gone to an extent, Honorable Speaker, of marketing their country as a tourism hub outside the world, in stadia across the world, Honorable Speaker, that they're telling people, please visit us. And when I was reading it, Honorable Speaker, they said they want to raise their tourism revenue from $600 billion by close of this year, Honorable Speaker, to $1 trillion Honorable Speaker. What does that show? That we've got a lot of things that, Honorable Speaker, we can be proud of as a country, ourselves, and it's about time that we seize the moments because we have talent. We have young people who are ready to to fly our flags high, but what they like is proper facilities, motivation, and support from government. It is very wrong, Honorable Speaker, that recently we saw one of our top athletes fly back after winning, Honorable Speaker. They were flying economy back to our country just the other day with nobody receiving them at the airport, with nobody giving them motivation, Honorable Speaker. And it's very sad. And it goes straight even to their deathbed, Honorable Speaker. As we speak, Honorable Speaker, today, we have one athlete from Kases constituency, one Jairus Birich, who passed on the other day, Honorable Speaker. He had won the Commonwealth marathon the other day, Honorable Speaker, and brought this country a silver medal. But as we speak, nobody is celebrating him. He's being buried on Saturday. The Ministry of Sports has not given any report. They've not supported the family. But just the other day, we were celebrating him for flying our country, for raising our flag very high, Honorable Speaker. And it's very absurd. Those are the things that we also need to be thinking, Honorable Speaker. The pecuniary support, number one. Number two, we should think about their families beyond their lives when they leave this country, this world, Honorable Speaker. With those many remarks, I want to appreciate the Honorable CNN and reiterate, Honorable Speaker, that I do not look like Honorable CNN. I do not know this confusion where it comes from, Honorable Speaker. Because I know very well, Honorable Speaker, I look better than him. I don't know why people say that we resemble. And I want to say, we only resemble in brains, maybe, and I could be higher than him. But the point is, I do not look like him. And I refuse to look like him. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Osoro. The Honorable Rindi Kiri Mugambi, member for Buri. Not Buri, but Buri.
Buri, aye.
That matter, Whip, that matter will be debated at lunch.
Thank you, Madam
Whether
Speaker.
the Honorable Osoro and the Honorable CNN look alike, and who between the two is more handsome than the other. Not in this house. At 1 o'clock, you have my permission to discuss. Please proceed, member for Buri.
Madam Speaker, the problem is that they both use cosmetics so that they can look the same. So it's a self-initiated look-alike. Madam Speaker, I join my colleagues to contribute to this great motion that has been brought about by Honorable CNN. Madam Speaker, sport plays a great role in this country. Madam Speaker, when I was growing up, I was a footballer, and now I'm a golfer. So I value any aspect related to sports. Madam Speaker, I visited a few of my schools the other day and I discovered that we are missing quite a lot because these children, our students, majority of them have no sporting facilities. Long time as we were growing up, PE, physical education, was a very serious lesson in many learning institutions. And Madam Speaker, people who are engaged in sports, they are very healthy. And I want to believe that in the process, they perform very well academically. A country that is so much sports, you look at even their health is fairly better than where people don't do a lot of sports. Madam Speaker, sports brings a lot of income to our country. It creates jobs. Madam Speaker, sports attracts many visitors to our country. Sports, Madam Speaker, keeps our youth busy, or what we call social development among a youth. Madam Speaker, there is a lot of inclusivity. Our girls are now in sports. Our boys are now in sports. There's no longer a domain of men. Our girls are doing very well in terms of sport, and they need to be encouraged as such. Madam Speaker, this inclusivity is key to a country like ours, where people interact through sports, through athletics, through football, through basketball, through rugby, etc., etc. Madam Speaker, I want to believe that when we are doing very well in sports, the international community is very keen to come and see what is really happening here. What am I talking about? There are so many scouts who come here to scout about football, the best athletics, etc. Madam Speaker, it goes without saying then that we need to put a lot of emphasis on the aspect of sports. And I want to say this, and that's why I agree with the mover of the motion. There are so many disciplines of sports which we don't do in Kenya. We are very good in athletics. We have started coming up now in football. We have started coming up in rugby. We have started coming up in in volleyball. But there are so many other sports that we don't do. And that's the reason why we became number 2. Because in athletics, we are very good. So I think we need to ask ourselves, where did we go wrong? This is my point, Madam Speaker. We went wrong because we don't have a policy to manage the sport affairs in this country. And therefore, it's my feeling that this motion is coming handy, and actually it should come first as a bill, because we have to change so many things. Madam Speaker, let me bring to your notice and notice of these members. A lady from my place who has his 3 children, triplets, who have autism. And they were denied by Kenya Federation to go and compete last month. And they were denied entry for the sports. These are disabled, category of disabled persons, and they are denied by a federation. Meaning, we don't have a clear policy to take care of all the athletes. Madam Speaker, when these people go out there, they market Kenya. When these people go out there, it's a talent. There is an income thing. It is an inclusivity thing. It is a cohesive thing. So why have we learned this far without having a policy? I want to thank the mover, because right now, we have to have it. And when we have it, it will be very clear. We shall have infrastructure set. The policy will bring in all the requirement for infrastructure that our talent require in terms of sports. Madam Speaker, if you check around, there are no stadiums. They are all focused in the big towns. The majority of our children and youth, they're in the rural areas. So we have to put this policy. The policy should say every village in Kenya should have a stadium or at least a sporting facilities where our children are going to be practicing. Madam Speaker, we need decisions on how to facilitate these people. Some of them, even when they go to compete, they have to go to their mother and their fathers and even relatives to ask for money so that they can go and compete. And we know these people have talent. The youth have talent. So we need to be true citizens of this country by providing facilitation for these people in terms of the requirement, travel document, accommodation, visas, passport, etc., etc. And then the reward system. I heard some people saying that the president is giving too much money. The president is giving 3 million, 4 million, instead of doing this and that. Shame on those people. The president was giving out that money because he recognized these footballers are putting the map of this country on top. His Excellency has initiated a move in this country of promoting sports, and we want to support him. And I'm believing that even this policy will be put in place, because we need to reward these great men and women. We need to, not even 6 million, it's too small. There are countries that buy the athletics contracts. There are countries that buy mansions for these people in high-end areas. And that's what we need to tell these children, that you can play football, you can learn, you can do whatever in sport and make it in life. Mr. Speaker, we need to have all-out sporting activities encouraged in this country. We have to have golf for these young people. We have to have skating. We have to have swimming. We have to have all kinds of sporting activities that other countries are doing. We cannot be priding ourselves by limiting our talented people through only athletics and football. We must open doors for other sporting activities. Madam Speaker, I want to support this and say that we are ready. I think this can be looked in terms of a bill so that we can enact it and ensure that the future talent of this nation are given a lot of power. I want to thank